Was the Leaning Tower of Pisa actually meant to tilt? Or was it a mistake by the construction team? Or did something huge hit it and cause the tilt? Wondering why I'm talking about the Leaning Tower of Pisa? On this very day, back in 1173, the construction of the Leaning Tower of Pisa began. Did you hear me say 1173? Yes, you did, because it began almost 850 years ago. Today, let me tell you the story of how our Leaning Tower began leaning in the first place, how it's really not the only Leaning Tower, and how Mussolini hated the tower and was all set to blast it off. Before I get into this mind-blowing story, make sure you smash that like button to keep more stories behind each day coming your way. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, known for its 4-degree fall, is estimated to weigh approximately 14,500 tons. You know, whenever I talk about large weighing things, I equate it with elephant weight for fun and prepare to be mind-blown because the Leaning Tower's weight is almost as much as 3,000 elephants. It makes me wonder, how the heck is it still up if it's leaning? Originally designed to be a bell tower, it actually did stand upright for the first 5 years. But when the third floor was completed after 5 years, it began to lean. The issue was that the tower's foundation was only made about 10 feet deep and used a dense clay mixture. This clay impacted the soft soil and wasn't strong enough to hold the tower. So the tower had no choice. It started leaning very, very, very slightly. This was not just super shocking for our Italian friends, but also super concerning for the engineers and architects on the project. So the project was paused. You'd imagine a pause to be 5 or 10 or 20, maybe even 30 years. But this pause was for 100 years. I mean, it didn't begin as a pause. It began with the decision to stop the construction altogether. But after 100 years, engineer Giovanni de Simone started to add more floors and tried to compensate for the original lean. Giovanni and his successors added and brought the tower up to 7 floors by the second half of the 14th century. But of course, this caused the tower to lean even more, and they left it alone again. And now, centuries later, after multiple foundation strengthening projects, it stands tall. Well, not really, but I can say for sure it's leaning and it's proud. So, I've been saying Leaning Tower for quite some time, and each time I say that, you imagine this specific Leaning Tower of Pisa. But let me tell you all about other leaning towers I bet you didn't know about. The Nevyansk Tower in Russia, built by the Demidov family, is a mysterious leaning tower. Some say it was a prison, others say it was a bell tower, and few also believe it was a secret lab for experiments. It really looks like it's just about to fall, but its tilt is actually 1 degree less than our Leaning Tower of Pisa. And this next one on the list will shock you. It's London's Big Ben. This iconic landmark is actually leaning. I know it sounds like a lie, but it has been tilting by 0.9 millimeters every year because of the underground expansions in London. But it's not a concerning rate, which is why engineers aren't too worried. So next time you go to London, you can try seeing for yourself whether you see the tilt. Chances are you won't, but at least you'll know it's there. And the last super shocking one is the Millennium Tower of San Francisco. This skyscraper has not only been tilted, but also sunk into the ground. And because of this, many people have sold their condos well below market price. Honestly, I would too. A tilting building is a real big red flag. But coming back to our Leaning Tower of Pisa, let's see why Mussolini wholeheartedly hated the tower. In 1934, the dictator of Italy, Benito Mussolini, decided that the Leaning Tower of Pisa was a disgrace. I mean, a tower that's so poorly constructed that it leans? No one wants that. He saw it as an inappropriate symbol for the masculine fascist Italy that he was building. He couldn't stand it anymore, and wanted to do something about it. Mussolini's first instinct wasn't to destroy it, but at least try and repair the lean. He gathered a team of expert engineers and got them to plan how to fix it. The plan was to try and drill holes into the foundation and add concrete so that the empty space caused by the old sand foundation could be strengthened and the tilt could be reversed. That's where it all began. 200 tons of concrete were poured into the holes, and countless engineers worked day and night. But guess what? The tower only tilted further south. What a lol moment for Mussolini. As far as its current condition is concerned, it has been declared stable for the next 200 years. Thank God, because I really want to get that generic pic of me pushing the tower back without the fear of it collapsing on me. So, we've talked about tall and leaning towers. But do you know about the tall and leaning flowers that almost touch the sky? I'm talking about none other than the 30-foot sunflower grown by Hans-Peter Schneiffer in Germany. It currently holds the record for the world's tallest sunflower. Check this next video out to learn all about it. Make sure you are subscribed to Behind the Date, where we uncover insane and mind-blowing stories behind each day. See you later. I'm off to see how this German guy grows such an insanely tall sunflower.